Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this NXT Halloween Havoc opinions review. All of that stuff. So we're going to start with the matches. Oba against Tony. I think this might have been my favourite match of the night. You lot scored it great 71%. Then Giulia and Stephanie against Cora, Roxanne. You scored it great 82%. So that was 11% higher. I think Oba Tony might have been my favourite, but it is really close between those first two matches. Andre Chase against Ridge. I didn't think this was much of a step down, but you lot did. You went good 96%. That's a pretty average score, actually. Did it deserve that? I think it was better than average. I wouldn't have hated if this had just snuck into that kind of great range, but you went good 96, making it the worst rated match on the show. Then we had Kelani. I was a bit worried about this, but it turned out okay. She did a gauntlet match. She got past Jasmine. She got past Jacy. She then faced Fallon. She would have got past Fallon, but there was some outside interference. Referee distracted. Jacy getting involved. Jasmine getting involved. Eventually, Kelani is defeated. New champion. I mean, really, it was as close to her winning this as we could possibly have got. But Fallon does get the win. You lot scored it good 99%. Then we got to our main event, Trick against Ethan. I thought this was the best of their matches by a country mile. The weapons obviously massively help him. The outside, fighting on the outside, fighting in the crowds. They didn't use the playground bit by the entranceway. I don't know if we were pushed for time, but we didn't really venture up there, so that was a little bit strange. You lot scored it great 68%. Obviously, we had the Bubba Ray moment after as well, which obviously sets us up for that ECW show, so that makes total sense. And we had the William Regal thing backstage. That was interesting, him and Lexis King. We had Tatum emerging out of that box, spinning the wheel. It's going to be a casket match as she faces Wendy Chu, so that was interesting. And of course, Zarya. That was a brilliant moment. So we saw her earlier in the night, and then that turned out to be a little bit of a swerve because we would then see her again later. And because we had seen her earlier, I wasn't sure we would see her later. I remember during the live stream saying this would be a really good point to have her come out. But I said it not thinking it was going to happen. I said it like a bit more, oh, it's a shame we used her earlier because this would be a really good point to bring her out. And then all of a sudden, lights went out and out she came. So it was an amazing moment and took me by surprise. I don't mind her going after Fatal Influence. She is someone that, you know, has got a sight set on a title. She's probably looking at quite a crowded NXT Women's Championship scene. And now she's just in Fatal Influence, basically cheat the belt off of Kelani. So it seems like she's thinking some justice could be served there. So I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all. There were loads of talking points, loads of bits and bobs, and obviously loads of costumes. Mike Rome was Beetlejuice. We had Trick Williams as Willy Wonka. We had the girls, Cora and Roxanne, as the twins from The Shining. Kelani was Poison Ivy. I think there might have been a few others as well. Some of them probably still haven't revealed themselves yet, but yeah, no, really good. Really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really solid effort. I don't think it hangs with, you know, the takeovers of old. That's what you always tend to hear. Like, oh, really good show, really enjoyed it. It wasn't quite takeover level. Those were very, very special back in the day. Very, very special. But no, I you know, my expectations were that this was going to be like at a certain level, and those expectations were definitely met. So, yeah, enjoyed it. All good, and on we go. So, we have got some comments to get to. Let's click on this and whoosh it over a little bit. Kelly, the wise lady, said, I thought it was awesome. I love my girl Stephanie. Her and Giulia are a dream tag team, but we know soon enough they will be after the same thing. I really enjoyed that tag match. I am very happy that Tony D retained with help from the fam. Gauntlet match was pretty good. Hats off to Kelani Jordan. She did great even though she lost. Tatum is back and okay, I was worried. Main event was really good. A little comical with Ethan dressing up as Jack O'Lantern. That passed me by, actually. Zarya is finally here. She made her presence known. I know she was there on Tuesday. Who is she targeting, though? All in all, great PLE. 7.75. Yeah, I didn't give a score. I would be about a 7.5. So I'm kind of thereabouts with you, yeah. Phantom67 said very entertaining. It was very fun to watch. Beer said very enjoyable PLE. Word of Wrestling said good show overall. Giulia and Stephanie Vaquer stole the show. Oba Femi, as always, was amazing. It was a great match. Kelani gave her all, but it seems Zarya will be getting the belt soon. Rushed and Glad Trick won, and what a setup for the ECW arena. Bubba Ray return, 7.5, said Word of Wrestling. Yes. Mitchell said, I honestly enjoyed it. The first match was awesome. Ladies' tag match was awesome. The ambulance match and the gauntlet match were, for me. Main event was a lot of fun. I'm going to go 7.5. We're all around the same ballpark here, aren't we? Kim's Chain said, I thought the whole show was brilliant, said Kim's Chains. Oba versus Tony was awesome. Giulia, Stephanie versus Roxanne Cora. Loved the Dias del Muertes face. Is that like... Dawn of the Dead, whatever it's called, Festival of the Dead, whatever it is, Day of the Dead. Is it that kind of thing? Paint on Stephanie. Ambulance match was okay. Gauntlet match was good. Paige versus Trick was great. I was expecting Boogeyman to attack Ethan. 8, said Nick Butcher, aka Kim Strains. WWE Ethan said it was my first time watching NXT in a while, as I don't watch the weekly shows because they're not for me, but the PLEs are. I thought this PLE for NXT was quite good. Loads of fun stipulations. Fallon is a new champ, which was surprising and quite a fun show. Zarya was cool always. Well, that's great, Ethan, to get a perspective of someone that doesn't normally watch. So that's really good. Bailey said, another amazing NXT pay-per-view. I feel it's getting better than Black and Gold NXT. Ooh. Big statement. Normally we get like, oh, it's not quite levels of Takeover, but Bailey feeling different. He thinks it's getting better than Black and Gold. Big Half 1878 said, I enjoyed it. Bit of fun and all around a good show. Sam said, it was great. I loved it. Daze, I have been giving star ratings to matches. Did you see the one that I tagged you in for Halloween Havoc? I am a little bit behind on my notifications. I got up to a certain point and then I did Unseen. And then as soon as that went up, it actually got hit with a copyright because of the Boogeyman reaction clip. So I had to trim that out. Thankfully, you can do it after it's uploaded. Like you can use the editing that's kind of built into YouTube. So I had to trim that out. Then it was fine again, so there was a little bit of drama there. Then I had to do the reaction videos. Now I'm doing this, so I have not seen. But if you've tagged me in it after Unseen was recorded, that will be why. So I still need to catch up with all of that. Night Legacy said 10 out of 10. It was amazing. Joking, I didn't even watch, and I forgot that it was on, said Night Legacy. Night Legacy, shout out to you. Brady said, the show was great. Fallon winning the championship was amazing. The ref botching in the main event was fun. Yeah, about the rope break. I like the fact that the commentary team picked up on that, though. Respect to them for that. Sad that Trick and Ethan never went to the playground. Alexa would be disappointed. Well, do you know what? I've heard a rumor, actually, that she was there in the playground waiting for them. And she was going to use that as a way to actually return to WWE. So she was in the playground waiting, and she was like, oh my God, I'm so excited. This is going to be such a big deal. Like, they're going to come into the playground, and I'm, playground Alexa. And so she's going to emerge, and it was going to be her kind of way back to WWE. Apparently, like, they just ran out of time, so they couldn't go to the playgrounds. And so that means they don't have any plans for her now. So word on the street is we won't see Alexa for another 3 years now. Now that opportunity has passed us by. So disappointing. And I can see that, Brady, you've already moved on. I mean, no longer referring to yourself as Alexa Bliss Gamer. It's probably wise. Don't think we'll see her for 3 years now. So, and that's at best. So yeah, I agree, very disappointing. Also, all of that I just said, I made up on the spot. The moment of the night definitely was Tate and Paxley finally being found. Johnny said, awesome show overall. Highlight for me was the women's tag match. I hope that Cora is okay after this knee shot, says Johnny. It was brutal. I would play it, but WWE are being really difficult with copyright stuff at the moment. Like, before, videos would stay up, but they just wouldn't be monetizable. So all the ad revenue and everything, it just wouldn't come to the channel. And, that's not ideal, but, I can take that a few times. Now it's just straight blocked. So I don't know what's happening in WWE. It seems to be cracking down a little bit. So yeah, I can't play it. But it was brutal. Craig said, I was there. It was epic, amazing. Craig, shout out to you. Hope you had a good time. Came across really well on TV. Watson said, what was the difference between a Devil's Playground and a no DQ match? They were better off having a bra and panties match. I mean, I can't say I'm eager for that for Trick versus either. I mean, to each their own. But I didn't find myself during that main event thinking, I wish this was bra and panties. Although if I watch it back now, I will think that. So, yeah, no, there isn't. A lot of these are just, same matches dressed up in different ways, Kayfabe Court said, and freaking new. Also, this was better than Bad Bloods. Hate me all you want. Oh, look at that. Well, I like when someone feels very strong about something and they're willing to stand their ground. I can respect that. I don't know that you're correct, and I'm actually really eager to have a look at the YouTube scores to see how the community feels about that comment, because I've got scores coming in for NXT, Halloween Havoc, and obviously we've got scores for Bad Blood, so we're going to look, and that will be the official decision, right? That will be the official decision, so we will have a look at that in a bit. Nathan said it was absolutely incredible. It was a great show. 2 to bottom. I think that was meant to be top to bottom. I'm going to pretend that they just got it completely wrong. That's not the saying, silly Nathan. It's not, you don't, when you're saying, like, it's a great show, and you want to say, like, all of it was a great show, what you do is you type top to bottom, because what you're saying is the whole thing from the very top to the very bottom, that was a great show. It's not 2 to bottom. I don't know what a 2 to bottom is. I think it's something that ballet dancers suffer from. So, Nathan, shout out to you. Thank you for that. It just, any way I can inject humor into these videos, I'm always looking. So I know what really happened. Can't wait for Trick and Bubba versus Paige and Ridge. Adam says, I'm only at the end of the women's tag match. So far, so good. Delta just appeared. Well, Adam, I hope you enjoyed the rest of it. I don't know why you are a little bit behind. Perhaps you started it later. That is a good thing about being able to watch on demand, in all fairness. Kipata said, great. They even worked an angle to go to the ECW arena. This is storytelling done right. Bravo. To Shawn Michaels and Ava and anyone else involved. Keep this going. This is the pulse. Wrestling fan since day one. Let's have a little look, see what we've got here. Have I got that queued up? Yes. Halloween Havoc was really great. Something you probably missed is Zarya has Cross's old TNA theme. I can't believe you predicted Trick falling over. Zarya has Cross's old TNA theme. How did they get that? I know we've got a relationship with TNA, but I wouldn't think that they would be like, oh, can we use that old music? That's very strange, yes. I predicted the casket match. Can you please predict that Carrion will follow me on Twitter? Said wrestling fan since day one. Well, I don't know that he'll follow you because he's a heel, isn't he? And I don't know that he's trying to please people. But he does seem very happy to reply to people and leave likes and stuff like that. So I don't know. Keep interacting with him because what I would say is whatever you tag him in, he seems to be seeing it. So I don't know. I think if you was to create like some artwork or some like a picture of him beating up, imagine drawing a picture of him beating up the Wyatt Six, and you was to say like, you know, I really hope you enjoy this. Any chance I can get a follow back? Karrion Kross, Final Testament for life, or something like that. I've got to think it would cross his mind to be like, I will follow this person back, kind of a thing, you know. So I reckon there are ways that you can manipulate the manipulator. How about that? How about that? Imagine if you do that and it works, and we were able to manipulate the manipulator. Oh, I'd be thrilled. Tony D'Angelo versus Femi, probably my match of the night. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. 4.5. Giulia and Stephanie versus Roxanne and Cora, 4. Rich Holland, Andre Chase, 3.25. I was starting to fall asleep. Kelani versus Fallon, Jasmine, Jacy, 3.5. Ethan Trick, 4.25. Overall, 7.75. Did anyone else think that Hikuleo was going to come out and save Trick, or was it me? Have a good night. I did wonder that. I had, in my predictions video, said that Hikuleo was going to be at the show, and I wonder, or I thought he may be at the show, not going to be at the show, but I did wonder if he'd be shown in the crowd. He wasn't, and that made me very sad. And then when he's getting beaten up, yeah, my brain didn't think, but it probably should have, considering everything we'd had before, but it didn't, so yeah, same wavelength. Raven King said a PLE full of bangers. Honestly, enjoyed every match, and they made Zarya feel like a star and build in next week's show more. Plus, the build for the ECW Arena show hype is awesome, honestly, said the Raven King. Phoenix Maximus said was there. Overall great, but a whole lot of people didn't care about the women's North American title match till Zarya debuted. Ambulance match was okay. Women's tag was awesome. Don and Oba was great. Trick and Ego very good. Crowd was electric for Trick. Yeah, he's over. Super over. His entrance is over. He's over. Yeah, very good. Well, it's lovely to get the perspective of someone that was in the crowd. We had a couple of people that were in the crowd, actually. So, very good. Eric said, I thought it was a very fun show. Hang on, very good show. Max Irish guy said, just missing the Wyatt Six in NXT. John said, it was pretty good. I liked it. Rumble Rewind said Kelani is way overprotected. I'm glad that Fallon is the champ. Ridge Holland repackages fire. Zarya versus everybody. Lots of great things going on in NXT right now. Yeah, I agree with that. Spurs Gamer said really good PLE, good match quality and story, but felt like it could have used some backstage segments. It did get the William Regal thing, didn't it? So it did have that moment. That was pretty good. We did get, it wasn't a backstage moment, but the Tate and Paxley, like popping out the box, spinning the wheel, setting up the match a bit further down the road. So we did get that as well. I'm trying to think if there was any other backstage bits. I feel like there was. I just can't quite recall them at this time. But yeah, maybe we could have had a little bit more. Maybe we could have had a bit more. Tony Ober was good. Women's tag match of the night. Ambulance match was nice, same as Gauntlet. Main event solid. Loved seeing Zarya and Bubba. 9 out of 10 stars. Real Wrestling Fan said pretty profitable, but a fun night for a Sunday night. 5 out of 10. Oh. Chris said, Daze, now that was an enjoyable watch. 7, sometimes predictable. It isn't a bad thing. Actually, not everything was predictable. Didn't see Holland coming out to whoop that trick at the end. Match of the night was the women's tag and Zarya with the beatdown, said Chris. J Beans said it was all right, pretty predictable though. Alan is horny, so horny Alan, shout out to you. D Fresh with Greg the Hammer Valentine applauding while sat in the crowd at AEW, and I think that says it all. Let's get a couple because we've got a few here. So it was pretty good. Women's tag match was easily match of the night. Stephanie was star of the night. Her aura, face paint, and moves were all fire, and she pinned the champion. Ambulance match was disappointed. The Devil's Playground match was basically just an Extreme Rules match and didn't have more of a Halloween feel, even if it was just a load of decorations around the ring, but it was still decent. Most importantly, though, Tatum is finally free and safe. I can finally stop worrying and sleep now, says Carl. Carl, shout out to you, buds. Shout out to you. Matthew said, very enjoyable. Oh, my God. I'm trying to get to the end of someone's comment, and I just keep getting more and more. Matthew said, very enjoyable PLE, and the ending of the show is setting up a tag team match between All Ego, Holland versus Trick Bubba at NXT 2300 show. Dean said, I thought Halloween Havoc was good. Thought the ambulance match and the table ladder scares matches was good. Not expecting a new women's North American champion. Nishi said it was a wholesome PLE. Loved the women's tag match and the main event. Tony's match was pretty cinematic, and the ambulance match was great as well. I want to thank Kelani for carrying the North American title to a competitive level. Good luck to Fallon. Vincent said, very good. Do we think the Don is going to the big show? Do we think the Don is going to the big show? Tony going to... Are we talking about Tony, or are we referring to Ober? Tony retains, so Tony's going to stay in NXT. Ober is free now. I don't think he's free to go to the main roster. I think he'll need an NXT title run first. So, if that's what we're talking about. So, no, I don't see anyone moving up after tonight. And, oh my God, there we go. We can finish it here. Look at this. So, Al Patata said, Ober against Tony was great. I've been starting to enjoy Tony, but gotta help. I don't feel anything when he won. Hard to believe he can beat him clean. Giulia, Stephanie against Cora and Perez, 10 out of 10. Wish it had been 30 minutes more to make everyone look like beasts for their next feuds. Ridge versus Andre was good. I thought it would have had a faster pace. Gauntlet match. Hate the first 2 filler matches, but it was expected. Good for Fallon, but she got help. It's hard to believe she can beat Kelani clean. And they handled a 3v1. Ouch. Trick versus Paige said it was great. As always with Trick's matches, it ended way too fast. Show could have been way better. Highlight was Giulia's knee. Joe said it was definitely a great show overall. WWE is cooking. And Wrestling Jensen said, I think Trick versus Ethan was a bit underwhelming if I'm being honest. Other than that, it was a great PLE once again by NXT. So let's flip over and go here into YouTube scores. So at the moment, 152 votes. Great 80%, right? 9% there. So we can say 89%, right? So was it better than Bad Blood? Let's go down and have a look. Here we go. So great 67%, but 14% above. So that is great 81%. Great 81%. 800 votes on that. Great 81. This was great 89. It wasn't better. And that's official. It's actually behind by 8%. So don't blame me. Don't blame me. I'm not the one that decides. The community decides. So obviously we've still got a bit further to go though. So that could change. But as of right now, that's where we are. So yeah, it seems like people really enjoyed it. It seems to be not too far away from SmackDown on Friday. SmackDown on Friday, 88%. This one, 89%. So this one just a little bit better than the SmackDown that we saw on Friday. So there we go. If you want to put it into perspective, for me, this was better than SmackDown on Friday. But if you want to know the reasons why I think that, you can obviously watch that video. That is up on the channel. We also on the channel have got the predictions for Crown Jewel. That is coming up next weekend. And honestly, later today, we'll be back once again because we will have Monday Night Raw. And following Raw, we will have another opinions video on this channel. So thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support. I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.